Good evening, it's Season 44, War 2, 4 Lokis facing Legion. Trying to bounce back from our opening loss to the season. Gonna change up the team because Titania got banned. And that's, I feel like, gonna be a very common ban in Tier 1 War this season. So I'm gonna get to bring my reasonably new Rank 5 Void. I used the Cap Commissary deal to get the Rank 5 Crystal Pick Science and took up Void with it. So I'll also bring my Rank 5 Silk and my Rank 5 Nimrod. So we got a big beefy team here for this particular war. Silk and Void are both global attackers. Nimrod is not, but Nimrod's really just for one fight. We're going to start off here on path 9A. First up, we have a rank 1 7-star Dragon Man. This is still the hazard shift path. Void is Incinerate immune, plus he's global. So any of the poisons that I would possibly get from this node, I'm not going to be taking a tremendous amount of damage. Tactic Void is pretty incredible. What more can you really say other than you're giving him the ability to place even more debuffs than he normally does, which just ramps his attack better. Here I get my dumbass pinned in the corner. He goes unstoppable. And I'm just going to throw the special one here to give me some time and some space. And then I can just fight my way out of it. No big deal. Yeah. See, I've got 4 poisons on me. I'm barely taking any damage just because of the global. And boom. First fight down. Next up, we have Common Placement Weapon X. On the second fight, we'll just go ahead and use the Nimrod. The key here is no power back boost because of that feat of indestructible that we need to worry about. So the hope is that we just build a 1 special 2, throw it, and the fight will be over pretty quickly. Just parry heavy here at the beginning, build up the armors. Get to poison, and now we can go ham. Throw the special 2, and is this enough to kill Weapon X? Yeah. Gosh darn, Nimrod is good. All right, now we're going to be shifting over to path 2B, the placebo path. And first up, they placed a big ol' Abs Man on the first fight, but Void countered Abs Man very well before the global came into effect, so he's certainly going to be doing a great job against Abs Man with the global in effect. So really not a whole lot to say here because it is a Void fight against Abs Man, and yeah. So we'll just speed this sucker up. Barely lose any health, but we're still going to use Void for this next fight. This is I considered using Silk here, and I picked Void. I think they can both do it because they're both tactics, so both of them will reduce the EMP mod, but I played this fight about as poorly as one can play a fight and still get a solo, which is pretty on brand for me. I mean, fighting Shocker is just annoying because of the multiple special ones, the auto block, the unblockable dashing forward. He's just annoying. I don't think he's ever gotten a kill on defense that I've seen, but he's just not a fun fight because there's just a lot of stuff that you gotta watch out for. There, apparently, I accidentally parried. And, yeah, I get him down. Just a messy fight that's going to cost me a bunch of potions. Speaking of fights that are going to cost me a ton of potions, here we have this stupid Photon mini-boss. I had avoided fighting the Photon mini-boss as much as I possibly could. mostly because I'm just not really familiar with her nonsense. What I did for this fight is DLL, my good friend and the champ designer for Photon, put out a video talking about different champs that can take Photon, and one of the champs that he mentioned was Silk. And so I was trying to follow his plan. I made a couple of mistakes. The first mistake is that for some reason, when we were talking about this fight, the thought was to take off dexterity here. And I should have left dexterity on. It would have helped me evade the special ones. But I didn't do that. The second thing is that I screwed up early and lost my invulnerability, which was really what I was sort of counting on to take a lot of the damage. Because I'm not really able to parry or to the heavy, because that'll trigger her miss, I believe. So, see there. Now I'm going to let it go on cooldown, and now I could stun her if I wanted to while it's on cooldown, but I don't. I stick to the plan, and I'm doing okay here at this point in time of the fight, but with all these debuffs on me, her block penetration is just nasty. I mean, that just chewed through half my health bar that was remaining. I'm going to throw... I probably should have waited and thrown a big-ass SP3. But, you know, I had a point where there was no power sting on me. I go in, she backs off, full 5-hit combo, and that's all she wrote for Clown. So Photon is a tough fight. That was not played particularly well. I go back in, and I immediately give up my invulnerability. Once again, her sidestepping an attack and then doing a full 5-hit combo. It's just not a lot of fun. And it's really just disappointing to, once again, be dying to these kinds of fights. Now, you may say, Clown, if you're so bad at this game, why are you assigning yourself this Photon fight? And that is a great fucking question that I cannot possibly answer in any sort of, like, reasonable way, other than to say that, you know, typically when I play on War with Trevor and Paul, I've usually tried to assign myself last, because I'm not trying to bogart a bunch of fights or anything like that. But then I end up with these sort of misshapen assignments like this one, because, you know, I'm not going to take the boss anymore. I'm going to let Paul and Trevor and Mastermind and B Manny do that kind of stuff. I just don't trust myself, and I'd really rather not take any minis. Fortunately, if we're going to talk about taking minis, I'll take this Mangog with Void all day long. Talk about an easy fight. Yeah. Void just absolutely shuts this guy down and crushes him in about a minute. So, 4 Loki went on to lose this war. We're in the midst of War 3, which we're doing well in. And hopefully we can turn the tide and pick up our first victory of the season. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next live chat.